Hello and welcome back to Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Last time we took down the Zinogre, and now today we are taking on the Sandbarioth. But we're not just doing the Sandbarioth, we're also learning a very valuable lesson. A couple of them in fact, and the first one is, always pay attention to the quest details. I assumed that because this is in the desert, it's going to be really hot, so I brought cold drinks, and I didn't pay attention to the fact that it is, well, night. So it's actually really cold and you're going to need hot drinks, which I didn't have. But I also have the foresight to teach my Shakalakas a dance to remove heat and cold. So that's something, that's the other valuable lesson. Always give your Shakalaka a way, or a back door, if you will. Because it will save you later on. And the other lesson, and it's not going to come into play until much later, bring paintballs with you, because you never know when a monster is just going to run away and then you can't track him because you weren't paying attention to something, or those small little details of where he's going off to. So you lose track of him and then you spend like 10 minutes looking for him or something. That's sort of what happened in this case, but not entirely. So at least I had the thought, maybe I shouldn't go that way, I should go another way instead. So, we are about a minute and a half in. What are the details of this monster? Because this looks like much like a Barioth, only recolored like every other freaking subspecies in this game. Well, that's true. So, the Sand Barioth is much like a normal Barioth, but lives in the desert. Which, unlike something, maybe the Glacial Ignactor, which will be in the next video, this guy sort of, it shows that there's a plausible means of adaptation in this environment, instead of, you know, being in like the volcano where it would be so hot that you just wonder how could a Barioth even adapt to these conditions. And so what makes this Barioth super cool, and you've seen it already, freaking sand tornadoes, or dust devils if you will, and he can use them to do that. That particular attack hurts a lot, but the Barioth is guaranteed to taunt after doing that attack, so at least you have some breathing room just in case you get hit like there. And I am using the Sand Barioth armor for this. There's no particular reason really, I just thought, why not? That, and it's probably one of the few armor sets in this game that looks like the armor that the Power Rangers use. That's just me though. I'm not 100% sure about you guys. The special abilities that this armor set has, it has heat cancel, which also would have been lovely if this was taking place in the daytime. But since it doesn't, well, I'm kind of screwed. And I believe it also has evasion up. I wanted to say evasion extender, but I don't think that's correct. But what evasion up does is that, not to be confused with evasion +1 or evade +1. What evasion up does is it allows you to roll a little bit farther, dive a little bit farther, and if it was evade +1, that actually increases your invulnerability frames, which is ideal in this game. The best thing to have whenever you're trying to dodge because you don't have a weapon that can defend is to have some means to evade effectively, and the best way to do that is to make sure that you have enough invulnerability frames in order to pull it off. So with this monster, he's physiology, so not special abilities, he is almost completely identical to the Barioth. In fact, I think he is exactly identical, so that includes breakable parts. So that means both wingtips, the tusks, and the tail can be cut off. And I would say it's a little bit more important that you go out of your way to break the wings on this guy, just because, well, because he's an enhanced Barioth, he can do a little bit more to you. And so if you can take him down just a notch, that is ideal. And so, like before, I have a cute little list of details about the Barioth, and there's one or two I might not agree with. Let's see. like many monsters in the desert area, when it's low on stamina, it will prey on the Rhinopolos or the Aptonoth. And the Rhinopolos, obviously, and true to nature, they don't give a damn that you're trying to protect them. They will still attack you anyway. When it gets enraged, its eyes will turn green. And after a hip check, it will sometimes immediately jump backwards to face the hunter and chain with either a charge or a bite. And I've seen that a couple of times with this guy, but I think a normal Barioth will do that too on higher levels. But that's something that I would need to pay attention to, because I'm more concerned about the big kitty cat thing that is trying to eat me. And see, this is where having a paintball would have been very, very helpful, because I realize that my stamina is going down, and I have lower health than I wanted to, and I need to sharpen my weapon, so I lost track of the guy. I didn't know where he was going. And here's an oh shit moment for you. And boop. Hey, who's that guy? Welcome back, Devil Joe. And goodbye, Devil Joe, because that is the biggest nope in the game. I might have said this earlier in one of the other videos, but as soon as you reach high rank, Devil Joe can just show up whenever there's an unstable environment. So if you run into that guy, you're gonna have some problems, and especially if the monster that you're hunting is in the same area. So for the love of God, run away or work on your dodging, because that guy's big and he's strong and he will ruin your day. And here's the Sand Barioth again. He's just chilling out after nomming on a Rhinopolos. And he is just about weak enough here. And this is actually hilarious, because it gives you an idea of what you could get away with the Dust Devils. See, he gets caught right in the middle of the tornado. And look at that. I guess the hitbox is around the center of the tornado. I didn't want to check. So I was surprised I was able to get away with that. And so the Barioth is going to limp away over to Area 11, where he is, well, obviously going to die. Going back to the notes, it says, even when the wing spikes are broken, it will only lose his grip on the sand occasionally. And I'm not too sure about that. That might be... I'm not sure if the Sand Barioth is in other Monster Hunter games outside this one. In fact, I think I have the different tab open for, like, I think I have the general tab open as opposed to the Monster Hunter 3 tab, which is right next to it. So it could be the case, or it might not be. Because I've noticed several times that if both wings are broken, then he's just going to have a really difficult time moving around. Whenever the wind gust fades out while the Sand Barioth is using its tornado jump, it will taunt for a few seconds after it fails its move. And I've only experienced that a couple of times, and whee! Just, I had to pause just to say that. And when the Barioth does a big whirlwind, it can fly... it can ride it to gain momentum and fly into the hunter, causing major damage to whoever it hits, so touch base on that. And this one is super obvious. The Sand Barioth roar requires earplugs to block. And the rarest item, and this is not in the notes, is he doesn't have a special gem like the Rathalos Rathian, which is kind of disappointing because this is a cool monster. But you can get Wyvern Stones off of him on rare occasions. In fact, after this quest, that is exactly what I get. Okay, I just clicked on the Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate tab on the wiki, and it says the Sand Barioth stores more air to do its giant wind gust attack, while it stores the same amount of air to do a small wind gust attack. It does the same amount of air to do a small wind gust attack. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but in G rank it is able to make 2 smaller tornadoes that will move randomly around the area. So, yeah, in G rank this guy gets pretty nasty. But that's going to do it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again next time. Take care.